And we are live in Inspirational School of Building Confidence. And today, that was a stutter then. Today, I have the amazing Nicola Steele. Now, Nicola and I have been friends for many, many years. We have a little story to tell, which is always quite funny.
Yes.
But what... Yeah, Nicola dated my husband years ago, and and that's how we met. And it's what I absolutely love about mine and your relationship, Nick, is that we complete opposites, but we still get on really, really well. I'd say some of our personality traits are very similar because we were just talking before we came on live, and we've still got the same we got the same mindset. But actually our lives couldn't be like, there she is, look at her, look how glamorous there she is, sitting on her golden throne like the queen, the queen that she is, you know. And then here I'm sitting in my office with my hoodie. but it is a pink one. Yeah, and this is how fantastic. But this is all our makeup, isn't it? This is all what we actually portray. But what we're here to talk about today is our confidence. And we were just talking before about confidence and how people perceive us. But you've got a beautiful shop in Bridgend, and every time we come home, I always have to go there and buy something from there. Love it. And when I'm not there, I send my husband in to buy something, and I tell you what I want, and do you know what? He actually brought it home. I told him, right, what you've got to do now, I want you to wrap it up as a present, and then when you see me, you give it to me as a present.
But he did.
And he did. He did. So
he said, I've got to get her this. He explained it. I said, I already know what she wants.
And we've got a little extra something as well. and he wrapped it up as a present, and he felt do you know what? He felt so good about himself, so that's good. But the beautiful, lovely, lively person, and you know, you come across so confident. You haven't always been like that, have you?
No, probably not as a child. A very insecure personality traits are the same, and I don't think we spoke about this. You can't change personality traits, but I never really fitted in with many people because my personality is quite diverse. And I think when you're growing up, it's very hard to find where you fit. And if you don't fit, then you've got to start it on your own. And I think that's where the confidence has come from, because I'm so used to doing my own thing by myself.
Yeah. And how did that make you feel back then as a child? Because it is difficult, because I was exactly the same as you. You know, I just never found, you know, you have these groups, don't you, of girls and boys, and they all have their little groups. And I just never felt as if I fitted in that one particular group. Were you the same?
Absolutely. I didn't fit in anyone's group. So I wasn't sporty, I wasn't academic, I wasn't an it girl, I wasn't glamorous. So I didn't really fit, and I wasn't a geek. I didn't fit anywhere. I was just a bit different. A nice kid, a nice kid, but just different. So there was no groups that I fitted into. I would just flit in and out on the surface level. There was no great depth with anyone. And I think as you get older, those traits stay. I mean, I've got great friends now. I've got very good friends, but they are very different, and they're very diverse to each other. So there's no pattern. I'm drawn to the weird. I'm drawn to the misfits of society. Now my friends are going, you cheeky cow.
I'm a misfit.
I'm drawn to the people that don't actually fit in. And Freddie Mercury said this in his film. They were all misfits in the group because they didn't belong anywhere. And I'm like that with my friends. They're all different. They're not cliquey people.
I love that. And that's exactly what I'm like as well. It's like, let's not follow suit, and that's really important. Let's not be the sheep in the group. Let's not be the followers of what society expects of us. Like you named then a group, didn't you? You named the sporty people, you named the geeky people, the academic, you know, and these are all what society expects from us, you know. And what sort of problems then did you find out? Because we're going to stick with that right now, what sort of maybe problems or puzzles by being that person did you actually come up against
not belonging, not invited to things, feeling very isolated. I'm dyslexic, so as a kid, it was very difficult because, again, you're seen as being a bit of a stupid kid. It's not that you're stupid, you just don't, your brain doesn't work in the same way. We see things very differently. So as a child,
Yeah.
that didn't go in my favour. As an adult, it massively goes in my favour because it allows me to do the job that I do because I see things differently. So as a child, it would have been a definite, it held me back. But as an adult, I embrace it and it's pushed me forward. So what was the question? Sorry, going off on one.
No, I think you answered the question. That's fine. That's fine. So then, as you're growing up into an adult, then what happened then? As you were sort of maybe choosing the different types of a path that you wanted to go into. Did you choose a path? Did you walk in that path? What sort of things happened to you as you were growing up then, after leaving school and then going into, like, I don't want to say what you're doing right now because that's going to be at the end. So stay on to the end to find out where Nick is right now, because she's doing an amazing, you know, she's got an amazing, where she is right now is an amazing part of your life, isn't it? But getting there as well, because what we're going to talk about is what your thoughts were at that time and how you got there and where you are right now.
Right. So I left school. I told you wasn't particularly academic. I had to resit. I left school one GCSE and I had to resit them. And I think in the end I passed 4, so not great. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was very hard. If you'd asked me the questions, I could answer them, but to put them in words, to translate them in writing, I was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. And so I wanted to be a nurse. I didn't have the qualifications to do it. So I did a pre-nursing course and I hated it. Didn't like it. It was not for me. So started in retail by mistake because I thought, well, it's probably the only thing I can do that you didn't need qualifications to do. And it was by mistake. And I went to work in Howells and I was on this jewellery concessions a long time ago. And it was just second nature. So I went in, I thought, okay. And I was in charge. I'm thinking, I've got my own little patch here. So I just redid it, worked out, and I was selling, and it was second nature. And then I was hitting these targets. And I can remember my area manager coming to see me, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just doing the job you told me to do. You told me to sell, so I'm selling." And it just grew. So my account from this 19-year-old girl going into House of Praise, it was Howells there, going into Howells thinking, wow, this is amazing. And being in awe, watching the women on the cosmetic counter because they were so glamorous and beautiful. And I walk through and go, I want to be like them. And they were full of confidence because they'd be there spraying and sassy on the mic. And I thought, oh my God, I want this. I want it. I want it. And basically it happened because I watched them and that would be my thing. I'd watch their techniques and I'd sort of steal them. And I would look at the women I really admired and I'd take little bits from all of them. So this is quite young because I didn't have a role model when I was young. So I took all these traits that they did and I used them myself. And my career just took off. But the weirdest thing with that is I never thought I was any good. I just thought, well, I'm going in, I'm doing my job. I didn't think I wasn't special. And I didn't see the qualities people I would be winning competitions and I hadn't even realized I'd been entered. So I'd be winning, store of the year. This is true. Store of the year, best retail manager, and these awards. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Because it wasn't hard to me. I could just do it. Where everything else in school had been a struggle and I didn't understand. But in retail, it was just there. I can't explain it to you. It's just there. And so that's a long time ago. Then I became an area manager for a jewellery company, different company. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I would go into stores and I would inspire my team to be the best because I wanted them to be the best because I wanted them to feel how I felt when we achieved. Through life, not everyone is going to be the same as you. And of course, through my history of my career, I've met people that really haven't liked me. They haven't liked the way I look. They've judged me. My boss used to say, this is my armor and I disarm anyone because people will look at you, Nicola, and this is not an insult. They think, oh, she's a bit dizzy, don't worry about her. She said, and then you'd have them and they'd be like, flipping it, where did that come from? Because people will judge how you look and assume you are a certain way. And I am nothing how I appear to be. but that's fine.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to make that call and judgment, you carry on. It makes no difference. It works in my favor.
I love that. And this is what a lot of people actually struggle with, don't they? Is that when they are being judged, and this is one of my problems, you know, is being judged because, you know, when I grew up, I was growing up in a very judgmental, critical family environment. And so then even if you don't mean to judge me, I can take it as a judgmental, which really has affected me. I've had to grow with that. But you have actually turned this into a positive for yourself.
Oh,
and I love that.
I'm not going to be rude about my family because that would be not the kind thing to do. But they're very blunt and they're very direct and they're not the most encouraging. I think it's going to be the nicest way of saying that. And you get so used to being put down and not having any positive feedback. When someone is rude to me, it is literally, it just rolls off. And sometimes friends say to me, you can't really be that cold. That must hurt you. And I say to them, well, it's not, that's their opinion, which they're entitled to. I don't agree with it. And if they feel they will share it with me, well, that's fine. But I don't really care. I'm not interested. You're not important to me in my life for me to care what you think. Like, I could be walking around a supermarket and someone could look at me and think, oh God, what is she wearing? I would never be that rude to think someone else, oh, what are you wearing? Because I don't actually care. My life is so busy. If you're that sad and you haven't got enough going on, you can look at me and criticize, and I'll do a dance for you. Come criticize me. I don't care. I don't care.
I absolutely love that. And you're one of a kind, actually. You know, you're a minority. You are a minority to actually have that personality, because I think a lot of people don't go forward in life because they don't think like that, because they are thinking about what other people are going to think of them. And I love that. I absolutely love that about you, that you dress and you look the way you want to look. And actually, look how successful you are in your life, in your business, and where you are right now to actually get there. And it's strategies, I think, that it's very, very important. And these are some of the things that, you know, that I'd love to get over to people and get people to actually work on. Is there anything, like I know you just said in your head, you just don't care, but is there anything like obviously from a child to where you are now, those things must have bothered you some point in your life? Are there things that you did to get where you're thinking now?
I think.
Or did it just happen?
There's two types of personalities. If you're constantly putting someone down, constantly a child, you're putting this child.
Yeah. Oh, she disappeared then. Where did she go? I would imagine she is on. I would imagine her phone has rang because she's in work right now, and the shop is opening. Oh, there she is. She's back. She's back. I was like, you disappeared. I was like, I'm imagining her phone has rang or something right now.
It did. No,
yeah.
I'm confrontational, and because I'm confrontational, I challenge people. So when someone is rude to me, I sometimes, why do you feel the need to say that? And this is terrible, and I hope I don't get criticized for saying this, but I'm going to say it. I've had.
I don't care anyway.
But I'm on social media, and I can't hide that I'm there. So 90% is good, 10% is not good. And I've had some women really rude to me, saying I'm mutton as lamb, my hair looks like a granny. I've gone white. My hair looks like a granny. I'm too orange. Or how much work have I done to my face? And terrible. And then I look at these women because I think, nasty woman. So I look at these women and I think, right, I could be really rude and hurt your feelings here, but I won't.
But I'm not.
Because I don't need to. Because for you to say that to me, you're already not in a good place, and I let it go. But I think sometimes why would you do that to somebody? Because what they're seeing in me is possibly things they want in themselves, and they're never going to move forward because they're constantly going to be horrible to people. And you could be, and I've said this to people, you could be the most beautiful woman alive, But if you are an ugly person inside, it shows in your face. And it does. It shows that it comes out, it radiates out. And then you see people who maybe are not the most classically beautiful, but they are so beautiful inside that they absolutely glow. They glow. So beauty and how someone is, it honestly, it comes from within, and it really, really does. You can dress it all up how you want, but a good person will always be much more attractive than someone who's miserable and jealous and spiteful and nasty. There we go. Nasty people, nasty.
Nasty people. And I totally agree with you there. And I think, and what you're saying about people who are will criticize other people, they definitely got things going on, because no millionaire or no successful entrepreneur will put another entrepreneur, will put somebody down for starting a new business.
No, you'd encourage them, and you'd say, what
because they'd encourage it. Yeah, because they are that successful in their own right.
Absolutely. When I started this business, strangely, I won't name the names, but they were two women, similar business to myself, and they were really rude to me. And on their social media, they'd said how I was copying them, and you know, I didn't know what I was doing, and how dare I try to do this. And I thought, I've been doing this 35 years in a very professional level, you know, and working in a corporate company is very different to running your own business. But I looked at these women and thought, I'm not copying you, because I don't even like what you're doing. I'm doing me, and I'm doing me the way I want to do it. But if you really think I'm copying you, you need to look at yourself first, because I am not copying you.
I'm not copying you. But isn't that a compliment? Isn't that a compliment? Do you look at that? That's a compliment to you, actually. Yeah, that's actually, if you look at it, that's a compliment, because they are liking what you do, because they, you know, they're thinking you're copy them, and they're thinking that they are on your level.
I know, that's I'm thinking we're not on the same level. I mean, we've grown. We didn't start off like this. It's grown small, and it's grown. And I think with business, you've got to do it very, very baby steps. Very small. I think if you go too big too soon, it's going to crumble down. And when I first started the business, there were lots of people going, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'd be going, yeah. It would be like me, you know, I can't cook. It would be like me saying to Mary Berry, this is how you make shepherd's pie. This is how you make Welsh cakes. I can't cook for toffee. I wouldn't tell her what to do. But everyone, when you're starting your business, is an expert in your field. And everyone wants to tell you what you should do. Don't listen. Really don't listen, because you're taking on so much. Focus. Blinkers on. You focus on what you want to do.
And I think you can, and that's in life as well, isn't it? That's in life, that's in business, that's in work. You know, it's you're putting your stamp on your life, because at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, it's only you that's lived your life. It's only you that's made yourself happy. It's only you that's made yourself successful. It's only you that's taken on the responsibilities. And that was quite interesting what you said before we actually come on, is that you had people come into you with their problem, and you've said them, go away, solve your problem, come back and let me know how you've done it. And I love what you said, because you said otherwise their problems become my problems. But it's their problem. It's up to them to take responsibility.
Yes.
And I think that's in life, is like, we've got to take on our own responsibility, our own problems, our own ways, and that's our responsibility. Even if it's somebody else has caused that something to happen in our lives, it's our responsibility to own it.
Totally agree. And I think, and this is in sort of relationships. Again, my relationships are not the best, but I take ownership. I will take ownership of that. I mean, you can't go through life thinking it's someone else's fault, because if they're not working, the common denominator is me. So I will own that. I'll take 50% responsibility. I'm not totally responsible, but I take 50% of the blame because of the person I am. My personality doesn't blend well, because I think if you are a jealous man, I am not the person for you, because I am out there. I'm very loud. Yes, very loud, larger than life. And it does take a very strong man to take my character, but not too strong that he's going to suffocate me. So it's a very, very hard line. It's a very hard balance for somebody.
I think,
you know, it's difficult.
Joe came into your shop, didn't he, the other day with my mother and father-in-law, and he said, "Oh, I met Nicola Steele," and I said, "Was you covered in lipstick when you come out?" He said, "Covered." Covered. She kissed me all over.
He was covered in lipstick and gold, and I'm like, "Come here."
Come on. So it's like, good grief, and it's like, yeah, if you're a jealous man, then you've got no hope of you, really.
No. But it is about taking accountability and personal responsibility. And I own that. I know where I am, I know where I'm not, and I will always accept half the responsibility if something business or private goes wrong. I'm not going to blame someone and go, it's all them, because it's not. And if you are a person that cannot accept personal responsibility, then you need to work on that, because you're going to go through life always being the victim, and that's not a good place to be. You need to, we all mess up. Own it. I mess up. I did it wrong. Shouldn't have done it. I've done bad things. God, I've not been perfect, and I accept that. And you'll always
nobody's perfect in life, Nick. No, nobody is perfect in life. We all make mistakes.
Absolutely. And
all do something bad.
Yeah. And then if she did that, and you go, well, I did do it, but that's a long time ago. So what difference is it? What business is it of yours? And there's nothing I've ever done in my life that I won't say, yeah, I did that, but I will say, why are you so interested in it? Why is it bothering you? And it takes the power away. I'm thinking of people I've known when bad things have happened to them and they're ashamed of them. And I've always said, just own it, because if you talk about it and it's out there, you take the power away. So I'm going to touch on being dyslexic, and my biggest fear being in school and in meetings as an adult, when you had, you're the bloody flip charts and you had to write stuff. That was my biggest fear. I used to think, oh, please don't ask me to do it. And so I would compensate by being the presenter, and I would present. And this is where the skill come from, because I did not want to write on that board. But I never had the confidence to say, look, it's going to be gibberish. Now I would just go, I'm not doing it because my spelling and writing are awful. Who's going to do that? And I will present. And they're owning it. And if someone was to force me, say, well, no, I'm not going to do it. It's not my strongest point. So I'm sorry, it's a no. It's being honest.
I love that. Yeah, and I love that. It's not your strongest point. And I think as human beings, we focus so much on our weaknesses that we forget about our strengths. And we try and like you say, with dyslexic, I don't know much about it, but I don't think there's a cure for it.
No, I wish there was. No, there's not.
No. So you're not going to get better at writing and spelling. It's never going to go away. So what's the point in trying to focus on that, try and get better? Let's focus on what you're good at and what your strengths are. But I think a lot of us focus on our weaknesses so much so we actually push ourselves down and we devalue ourselves. And everybody has got a strength in life, and everybody got something so much amazing to give. And I absolutely love you, and I love what you actually give, and you give to the community. Now tell us all what you're actually doing right now, and then I've got some other questions that I need to ask you for that around that as well.
In COVID, I lost my job, and it was the biggest blessing, because I'd had enough of it, and personality wise I was not really, it wasn't working for me, because I had a team of people I was trying to manage to do their job well. And because of me, my personality, not everyone gels with me. And it was just hard work. And in the end, I think, well, if you want to coast around in your job and not be very good, that's great, but that's not for me. That's not my bag. So redundancy came, and I'm like, okay, I'm off. And I was to a certain age, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? Because I'm now going to be unemployable, because I'm not techie. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Oh, God, I can see the man out the front with my box of stock. I may have to take my camera with me. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I thought, right, what do I love? I love clothes. So I started selling clothes online. And I did it from a kitchen table. From the table went into the extension. From the extension went into this gorgeous shed, and shed made. And oh, I loved my shed. I've been walking in thinking, this is heaven. It's like having your own shop in your garden.
I loved it. I saw that. And we all watched this through COVID, because we watched your journey as well, because you put it on Facebook, it was on social media. Brilliant.
Oh, I got the pictures and I look at it. And when the shed was built, I cried, because I thought, I've got my own business. I've always wanted my own business, but having worked in corporate, I know how expensive things are. And I thought, I'm never going to do it. So from the shed there was getting so busy, and I thought, ooh, this is not good. I'm going to have to take it forward. And then I came here, and this was the most frightening thing I've ever done, because I've just signed my lease and I've got to pay it regardless of whether the business took off.
Yeah.
And it was the most frightening but most exhilarating thing, the best thing I have ever done in my life. I come in the shop every morning and I'm like, thank you. And everything just fell into place. It was the weirdest thing. It was the right location. My rails turned up from different places and everything just went. It was like a jigsaw. All the pieces slotted together.
Just came together. But I'll stop you there. I'll stop you there. It didn't fall into place. You had 20 to 30 years experience behind you.
25 years,
but
please.
You put 35. So you put all that hard work into place. So, and I think you've got to think for yourself. It didn't fall into place. That's your hard work there.
Yes.
All your hard work and what you actually put into your career. That's how it fell into place. At the end, it's like, whoa, it fallen into place for me.
It was amazing. I mean, there were hiccups when I was trying to get the shop kitted out, because I was let down badly by the man who was going to do it. And I remember sitting in the fitting room thinking, how am I going to I had 2 weeks to open the shop on my own, and I thought, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And then my neighbour just said, Nick, can I help you? I'm like, yes, please, come and help me. And it happened.
But it's the people you've surrounded yourself with. They came and they helped and they were able to get you up and running because people believed in you because of who you are. And then you opened on time, and that was just amazing. So you've got amazing clothes shop in Bridgend town centre. It's the most classiest sort of shop in Bridgend. So if anybody is in Bridgend and go there, it's Venetia Steele. And you've done this with all your hard work on your own, with your personality, and it's just second to none. But the reason for the clothes as well, there's a theme, isn't it? The clothes are not for everybody.
No, the theme is, I can see people knocking on my door. The theme is, I think when a woman gets to 40, we physically change. So from 40 up to 100, we physically change. We're mentally change. Our bodies changes, and we're not in the same place as we were in our 30s. And there is nothing in the high street for us. You go in shops. I won't name shops. But you go in shops. It's too short. It's too tight. We're not comfortable with it. So the boutique is about 40 plus. We do all sizes. We do an 8 to a 22, 24. They go the quickest, I'm going to be honest. And we do glamorous things. We do basic things. We do everyday thing. We cover everyone's taste. And what is different with us, I mean, even though I'm sitting in black today, what is different for us is we get the colours to really unite together. So we will get unusual colours that people will think, oh, I wouldn't put that with that. And it just makes it look so expensive. And it's not expensive. It's affordable luxury. And that's where we're different. I source everything myself. I try it all on. So I think, like, what is the fit going to be like for the ladies? Everything. And
well, the first dress I bought from you is a beautiful dress. I absolutely love it, and I've worn it I've worn it about 3 or 4 times, and I wore it first of all to the ball that you organised, so it could be worn as a ball dress more than anything. It wasn't a gown; it's more of a dress. And I downsized it then with a denim jacket that I bought from you as well, so it still looks beautiful, but it doesn't, it's not going out. So that sort of dress actually, And I wore it when Richard went to court for his daughter. I wore it there as well. So it's had like quite a few sort of jobs to do that dress.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved as well, And then I had a green theme with you now, because the other dress I bought was green. But it's like these bright greens. And what, when you go into your shop as well, is that you always feel welcome, and Bev as well is there. We always feel welcome, and we always feel as if we are important, and there's none of these sort of like just get on with it type of thing. And there were some things that I tried on that and you sort of looked at me, oh, I know what's good for you, I know what will suit you, and it was just like, wow, I'd never chosen that, but it was that. And I think that helps women then also build their confidence. And I notice, you know, it is, and it's sort of like if you feel good, your shoulders go back, you stand up tall, and you know, and that's the beauty of what. And I think that's what you said. That's what you set out to achieve as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. You've got a wardrobe that's workable for, like you said about the dress. You can wear it to a ball, you can wear it to court, you could wear it casual. It's having a wardrobe that works for you, because so many people buy things, they don't know what suits them. They'll buy something and they never wear it. So what we've got, because the reason it's all in colour is if you have a green theme, if you
I had a green theme.
I've got a green dress, there's a green, that'll go. And it's about making your wardrobe work smarter for you, not wasting your money on something fads. We don't do high fashion, because high fashion is really magazines telling you, the media, what you need to wear. We work ours on what really suits your lifestyle, your body, your purse. It's everything. It's tailored to you, and it's all about you. And you touched on, when people come in the shop, one thing I cannot bear is that, you remember that scene from Pretty Woman and they're rude to people? I can't stand that. I can't bear it. So everyone comes in.
Mistake. Big mistake.
Big mistake. Huge.
Big mistake.
I mean, we get people in and they just want to be left alone, but I'm mature enough to realise they want to be left alone. It's absolutely fine. It's however people want to shop.
It's about reading people as well, isn't it? It's about being able to read people. And I think that's a lot to do with, you know, because right now, you know, we are in a crisis as well. We are in a crisis with finances and things like that. So when we go and spend money on like hair, makeup, clothes, they are a luxury for us. And they're necessary, but they're a luxury. So and it's like with us as well, when people come on holidays, people work hard for the money, and people work hard for their money so that they can go out and they can spend it with us. So how rude of us to not make them feel special.
Absolutely. Claire, hit the nail on the head there. How rude. I think in industry, retail or hospitality, wherever it is, if you're giving a service, you need to give a service. And unfortunately, I think today's generation, they feel to give a service is beneath them, which we're losing all that skill set, because they think I'm judging here, people will think they are too good to be serving. The service is a talent. And why would you not want to make someone feel amazing? Rather than looking at service, look at it as giving someone a gift and enhancing their life.
And that's exactly how I look. And I think maybe we're similar ages as well, aren't we? So I left school at 16 and I went to work in retail as well. So I think the first 2 weeks of my induction was on customer service. So it's huge. It's a huge thing. And you know, it's like people will come to us and they'll come and they've spent a lot of money. They come in on holidays. You know, I want to give them a good service. I want them to actually feel good about themselves, because they're going to go away and they're going to speak about you and they're going to recommend you. And it's about, and you don't know what's going on in people's lives. You just don't know. It's like, especially, you know, people are spending, you know, like with us, they're spending like thousands of pounds to come on holidays. And with you, they're spending that, you know, that you're getting people little and often, aren't you? And they're spending a small amount of money, but it doesn't matter how much money they spend, and they still deserve that service and to build that confidence.
Absolutely. That person who comes in and spends £30 on a top is happy. They go out, their friends go, you look amazing, where'd you get it? They tell their friends. Then they go, I go back. They may spend £30 on a bottom to go with that top. The following week, so the month, these people are spending a lot of money, and that needs to there's nothing worse, I think, than not appreciating people coming in and giving you their hard-earned money. And you should never ever take that for granted. You can't say, I don't like that client, I don't like this person. If they're coming to give you their money, you need to appreciate that, every penny, whatever it is, and appreciate everyone's spending power is different. So someone coming in spending £600 is just as important as someone coming in spending £25 on a scarf, because their budgets are different and it's a customer. Am I
Absolutely.
getting passionate now and carried away?
No, do you know what? And this is what I love about me and you, is that we really do sing from the same hymn sheet. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. That you collect handbags, I collect knives. So, but you know, we still collect things.
Knives. That's so funny. Ah, yes.
Inside joke. But just one more thing, one more question before we go, because I know you're busy and I know you've got people knocking at your door, hammering for Nicola Steele's attention. Is that did you when you get people coming into your shop and they are lacking in confidence, how do you build their confidence? How do you get them leaving feeling good about themselves?
I can normally read their body language when they come in. So I'll approach them so they're welcome, and we'll let them browse around, and then I'll go and approach them and I ask questions. So where are you going? How are you feeling? What's it for? And then people like to offload. So I'm like, okay. Then I'll put some clothes together. I normally give a couple of options. They'll try on. If I can see in their face they're not feeling it, I won't sell it to them. I'll say, look, I don't think you were in the right place right now. Why don't you go and have a coffee, have a little think, and come back, because you're going to buy that, you're never going to wear it, and that's not good for me or for you. Well, normally they're like, well, don't you want me to buy it? And I said, no, I want you to be happy, because I'm not going to sell it to you because you're not right. Then they will come back and they're like, I want to try it again. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I love is maybe they've gone from something plain black to something bright orange, and they'll say, I would never have worn this. And that's what I love. And then when they come in and they go, my friend said I look amazing. I want to share a story with you after this. My friend said I look amazing, I look wonderful. And I'm like, then I've done my job. But I won't sell just for the sake of selling, because that customer won't come back.
No.
But let me quickly tell you the story.
And then people will read your body language. People will read that you're just trying to sell them just for the sake of it.
Don't like that. That doesn't happen here. And if someone's indecisive, I'll just say, don't get either. Go away and come back. And they're always a bit like, well, that's a terrible thing to say. Well, no, because if you don't know, do not buy. But quickly tell you. When
go for it.
Karen Millen, and it was a busy Saturday, and we had the largest fitting room, and I could hear all this commotion going on in there. And we had this bloody horrible dress. I hated the dress. I didn't even want it on the shop floor. So I tapped the curtain. I said, girls, can I come in? Yes, I'm thinking, come on, it's Saturday. You've been in there ages. Out you come. And I said, what's going on in here? And this woman had this dress on, and I thought, oh, no. And the girls went, oh, she looks great in it. And I'm like, okay. I said, when are you wearing this dress? And she said, oh, I'm going to a wedding, and my ex-husband and his new girlfriend are going to be there. I said, right, girls, do me a favour. Out. Go to Costa's. Get out. Leave her with me. So we had a chat in the room, and I said, I'm not going to sell you that dress. I said, because it's bloody awful. It's hot. And honestly, please don't have that dress. And she's like, what? I said, it's terrible. Right. I said, what part of your body does your husband like? And she went, he liked my legs. Right. So I got her, which bit don't you like? So we covered the bit she didn't like, shown off the bit she liked. So she bought the whole outfit, the shoes, the bag, we put it on a credit card. We opened a store card for her so that she didn't have to worry about it. She looked amazing. So the reason I got rid of the friends is they were just fed up of being with her shopping all day, and they wanted her to hurry up. Well, that wasn't good. That's fine. So she left. She looked amazing, and she came back 2 weeks later, bunch of flowers. And I'm like, what happened? Said he couldn't stop looking at my legs, and I'm like, yes. And she said, I walked in. She's like, I was running around, and I felt amazing. And I'm like, and I love that. And I think that is one of my something I think about a lot, because there's no way she'd gone in that terrible dress. She would have felt awful, but she went, she looked amazing, and that was the difference. A different person for her to move on with her life as well. So,
and I agree with you there, because I've been in shops before, and I put something on, and the shop assistant have said, oh yes, beautiful, it's lovely. And I'm like, I'm looking, I'm thinking, I'm not feeling this from you. Okay, but I will take your, because maybe I'm on my own. I wasn't quite sure whether I liked it or not. Got home, maybe wore it, and I just didn't feel right, didn't feel comfortable. And then I don't go back to that shop, because I'm thinking, you're not telling me, you're just telling me what I want to hear.
Exactly, and we don't do that. We're very, very honest, too honest. Like, no.
No. But that, you know, that's brilliant for confidence as well. It's brilliant for, even though, you know, it's brilliant for what, and this is why I wanted to speak with you today, and I wanted you to get this information out there, because we talk about behind the mask, and we talk about, you know, hiding behind the mask. But absolutely, our clothes are our identity, and it helps us to build our confidence so we can put our different hats on. You know, I can dress glamorous, I can dress down, I can dress up, but all the clothes I've ever got, I'm comfortable in. I can have odd socks on and I don't care. But
what's wrong with odd socks? What's wrong with that?
It can't be anything wrong, because I've always flipping got odd. Well, today I got a matching pair today, because that's because they knew. Well, they won't last forever. but it just, the way we actually portray ourselves is vital to our confidence and how we actually feel about ourselves as well, isn't it? So it's, you know, you've got an important role in women's lives, and I'd like to just thank you for it, because you inspire me, Nikki. I was going to call you Nikki Bright then, Nicola Steele. You really do inspire me. I know. But the thing is, I don't know if you heard Nikki Bright's interview with me. Hers was amazing as well. You need to go over. I'm going to put this on my YouTube as well eventually, but right now it's on the Facebook.
Brilliant. Oh, you've gone. Where have you gone? You've gone quiet. I don't know if you can still hear me. Somebody must be phoning you. Oh dear. Oh. Let me take that off.
Oh, there you're back. There I'm back. I don't know what happened then, but it was. I'm glad that happened. I know, but I'm glad we've come to an end. Thank you so much, Nick, and hopefully I'm going to try and come back to Wales in October sometime. So hopefully I'll see you then. But thank you so much for coming on. Love you loads, and have a fantastic day. Take care. Mwah. Thank you. Bye.